Jonathan Brooks was used to flying first class. He was a successful interior designer from New York City, known for his style, confidence, and heart. As a proud and openly gay man, he had faced his share of struggles, but he never let the world harden him. One morning, Jonathan boarded a flight from Chicago to San Francisco. It was a long journey, and he'd earned this seat. He sipped his complimentary drink and sank into the soft leather, flipping through a design magazine. Life felt good, until he saw her. A woman, clearly exhausted and visibly pregnant, struggled to walk down the aisle. Her hands trembled as she balanced her bag. No one offered help. Her seat was all the way in economy. Jonathan watched her closely. She didn't ask for kindness, but her eyes carried a silent plea. Something inside him stirred. Without a second thought, Jonathan stood up. He walked to the woman, smiled, and said, "Hi there. I think you could use this seat more than I do. Please, take mine." The woman blinked. "Are you serious?" He nodded. "Absolutely. You and the little one deserve comfort." A few passengers stared in surprise. One man even muttered, "Must be crazy," but Jonathan didn't care. He picked up his carry-on, smiled at the stunned flight attendant, and took the pregnant woman's economy seat. Cramped knees, bad air, he didn't mind. The woman introduced herself as Rachel Carter. She was a teacher, traveling alone, and due in just 2 months. She had saved up for the trip but couldn't afford first class. Tears welled up in her eyes as she whispered, "No one's ever done something like this for me." Jonathan simply smiled. "Pay it forward someday." The flight ended. Rachel left with a grateful heart. Jonathan went back to his busy life, never expecting to hear from her again. But fate had other plans. 7 years later, Jonathan's world had changed. His business had slowed. His long-term partner had left. His parents were gone. Depression slowly crept in. He felt alone. One rainy afternoon, Jonathan sat on a bench outside a park. Children ran past him, laughing. He watched them with tired eyes, wondering what it would be like to have a family. That's when he heard a small voice. "Are you Jonathan?" He turned. A little boy with curly hair and big brown eyes stood there, holding a crumpled drawing. Behind him stood a woman, Rachel. She looked different now, stronger, glowing with peace. She smiled. "I hoped it was you. We've been looking for you." Jonathan stood up in shock. "Rachel," she nodded. "This is my son, Caleb. I told him about the kind man who gave up his seat for us." Jonathan knelt, his eyes watering. "Hey there, buddy." Caleb beamed. "Mom says you're my angel." Jonathan laughed softly, blinking back tears. "She gives me too much credit." Rachel explained that after that flight, everything had changed for her. She found a job near family, raised Caleb with love, and never forgot Jonathan's gesture. She had even searched online for years but couldn't find him until recently through an article about his design work. "You helped me when I was at my weakest," Rachel said. "Now we want to help you." Jonathan hesitated. "How?" Rachel reached into her bag and handed him a folder. Inside was an application for a nonprofit she had started, Second Wings, dedicated to connecting lonely LGBTQ+ elders with families, especially single mothers looking for guidance and friendship. "We help people who need each other, even if they don't share blood," she said. "I want you to be part of it." Jonathan's voice cracked. "Why me?" Rachel smiled. "Because you gave without asking for anything back. You deserve to receive." Over the next year, Jonathan became like family to Rachel and Caleb. He helped Caleb with school projects, told him bedtime stories, and taught him about art and design. He felt something he hadn't in years, belonging. More than that, Second Wings grew rapidly. Jonathan used his skills to help design community spaces. The nonprofit became a safe haven for hundreds of people. Single mothers, older LGBTQ+ individuals, kids who needed a grandparent figure. He found purpose again. Joy, laughter, and love. One night, During a community dinner, Caleb sat beside Jonathan and asked, "Do you think I'll grow up to be kind like you?" Jonathan smiled. "I think you already are." Caleb reached into his little backpack and handed him a card. On it, in messy but heartfelt handwriting, it said, "To my angel in the sky seat, thank you for coming back into our lives." Jonathan cried that night, not out of sadness, but from a heart full of something rare, peace. A simple act of kindness can echo across years and change lives in unexpected ways. What you give freely today may return to you in ways you never imagined. Never underestimate the power of a selfless gesture. It could build a future filled with love, family, and healing